Hey, hey, Blue Table fans! I'm here with Chris. Da-da. We're playing Raid, 1350 points, and here's our lovely battlefield. And he's playing, guess what army? An army of, what do you say, blippity blips?
Yeah, blippity blips.
Yep. So that's all I get to know. And here's my black and purple and gold Necrons. And I'm very pleased with how those turned out. I'm trying out the Canoptic Reanimator and Tomb Blades this time. So a lot of experimental things. For HQs, I'm sticking with my Traditionale Chronomancer, who I love, for that 5-up invuln. And I have 2 of my lovely converted Hexmark Destroyers. And they are looking so keen. I'm very proud of how they turned out. We're going to see if they're any good. All right, let's roll for option to go first. Straight up higher roll.
Yep.
Brutal. I'm definitely going first. Thank you very much.
Now.
Do I have to? Why?
You have to. Because they, the new facts and everything, they said you have to go first if you roll higher.
The new faction?
Well, the new.
For Necrons?
No, for everybody.
Oh,
So,
everybody.
Yeah, so if you roll higher on the to go first, then
You have to go first. Is that an FAQ?
Yeah, it's in the FAQs and everything.
Oh, okay, cool. Didn't know it. But a master at this game would be able to, in 3 seconds, roughly do the calculation. So if I may, hold the camera. All right, so if I did Overwatch, I would get 40 shots at strength 5, but I'd only hit on 6s. So I'd get maybe, on the upside, 7 hits, and then I'd have to roll the wound. Yeah, so I'm not gonna, I might put 1 wound on it going in. And so that's fine. Chris is going to have fun with this. And I'm just going to Veil of Darkness out of there, which was my evil plan all along. We shall see. Or I'll just stay there. Maybe, he says. See,
Other one makes it.
a master at this game will already know this outcome because of the spike of probability curves.
Right. So this guy.
Charge my
He's gonna-
Scorpex, yes. Do it.
He is going to charge into the Scorpex.
And this is just an empty transport now, right?
Yeah.
And those cost like 80 points,
No,
110?
these are 95.
Okay, great, cool.
So he's going to charge into them.
Light vehicles,
He does make it.
yep. So a 10 matters, because it isn't, like, I don't think you have to go directly
No, I
anymore,
don't
do
have to,
you?
and I actually am going to go that way. That makes more sense.
All right.
Right there.
He just has to stay out of an inch of those guys.
Out of an inch of them.
All right, and so you charge these guys.
Charge them. Straighten up a little bit.
Yeah, I think you're maybe a little close. It doesn't matter, but
Well-
maybe a 1/4 inch. There you go.
So I'm just out. Well, no, I mean, I can be as close as I want to them. But
Right,
just
but you
outside.
can't be within an inch of them.
So outside of an inch of their
continue.
bases, then this guy, he's going to charge into them.
I'm ready. This one I do want to do Overwatch.
All right, go for it.
Okay, fantastic.
We'll get,
So-
yeah, looks like everybody, except for anybody that can't see him from that side.
Right.
You'll have to
So,
double check.
by the way, this is a great move on Chris's part. He had a hero and he had a transport, and he used the long charge of the transport to block off the Overwatch of all those guys. So now, I'll just go like this. Who can see him? It's not many. By my count, it's 2, 4, 6, 7 guys can't see him. So that's 13. Does that sound okay to you? All right. I changed my mind on that, by the way. In my mind, they get their full attack. And these guys can shred things. But with all his defenses, yeah, I'm not. Okay, make your Jojo. I think you need a 5.
There we go.
We'll measure it if it's close.
So
a 3.
I'm gonna re-roll it most likely.
Okay, sounds good.
So take one and re-roll this.
Yeah, and as I read the command reroll, you have to reroll all the dice of something.
There we go.
There's your 6 that you needed.
As long
That's
as
what the
I'm
command reroll.
within 7, which I am.
All right,
There we go.
blink.
Go right there. Seems like a good spot. Yeah. All right.
Nice.
So I will now choose a unit to go first.
All right, I want to just have an instructive moment here. It's going to be awesome. So the way this combat started is there was one guy within an inch. So this was only engaged with this one guy. So as the rock grinder was doing wounds, and it does D3 wounds, so we had to roll each one individually, because you did 6 wounding hits, right? So what happened is I started taking off my guys like this as they were dying. So I took this guy, and then for whatever reason I decided to take off that guy. That was a mistake. I should have taken off this guy. And so what happened is, so now I take this guy off. So now the attack is done. So then what did you do? Explain how this works.
So when I did my pile-ins...
and this might not be the exact position.
Yeah, it wasn't exact. But when I did my pile-ins, I simply, so the warriors are closer, I just piled in closer to them. And
so even though technically you're not engaged with them.
Yeah, I am engaged with them, I just can't fight them. You can fight me. I just can't fight you, though. Because I didn't charge you.
Oh, I see.
No. But the key to this is, this model that is left in this unit can't attack me because it's not within an inch of me anymore.
That was my tactical error.
No. So yeah,
He used his pile-in.
No.
Well, there was more than an inch. You didn't use your pile-in to disengage.
No, I didn't. It was already disengaged. The pile-in was just extra.
I just took my casualties off in a very dumb way.
You can use a pile-in to disengage. It's just, it would be a very unusual circumstance.
Okay. All right, cool. So guys, this is real instructive because Chris is an example of an experienced player who just, he looks at it and he sees all the possibilities. And I don't see any of that. I'm like the chess player that's looking 1, maybe 2 moves ahead. And I'm not doing it very fast either. Okay, so now you would go on and do your other things that charged.
Unless you want to do any interruptions or...
Do I have any?
I mean, yeah, so you can...
Are there any in the basic?
There's
the one that allows you to...
if you wanted to pay 2 CP, you can interrupt with one of your units.
Yeah, but is that a good move?
I mean...
can I do a heroic intervention here?
No, I made sure I was outside of 3 of him.
Oh, I see, okay. And would I have had to have done that when you charged?
Yes.
So you do it in their charge phase. Okay.
So you do it as soon as all of their stuff is
So I got to put that on my
done.
list of things to remember.
As soon as all of the other guys' stuff is done charging, then you go, oh, I'm within 3. I heroically intervene.
Okay, cool. Well, and I talk about, we want to go to tournaments, we want to learn the game better. And for me, the priority is actually to learn what I call a clean game, which means you play it according to the rules. And you don't make mistakes or do things out of phase or have to fudge your movement or whatever like that. And then our second objective is to play a perfect game, which is don't make any errors. Because like in chess, when they're analyzing the games of these grandmasters, they have, I can't remember what it's called like a fault or an error, where it's like you didn't necessarily bungle it, but you didn't make the best move in there. You made something, and games can be won or lost because you're down a pawn, 1 pawn less than the other person, and that in the end that ends up being the game. And I think 40K is very much like that. And you're going to have more of a fun game for yourself the more that you can see what's going on. Because I didn't see, when he was rolling up with this transport with the one guy on it, I didn't see that, he could disembark that guy, the tar pit guy, block off the overwatch with the transport, and then all this other stuff. And this one rock grinder basically just ground down over its points values in Scorpic warriors. Mm-hmm. And eliminated this giant threat. Like, this guy isn't that big of a deal. But we shall see, Chris Talley.
We will.
No, I'm already hosed. All right, here we go.
All right. Did you want to reanimate for them?
Oh, yeah. So here's how it works. I get dice. Let me start. I get dice equal to their wounds characteristic. Doesn't matter that this guy was down in wounds already. Okay, and then now I roll them and I try and get 5 up. And I got 2. So now I try and bring back guys. They're 3 wounds, so I can't bring back even one guy. These are now wasted. I didn't reanimate, which is really too bad. That would have been amazing because I could reanimate and get back into...
Not in this case. If I was still in combat with him, yes.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
You can't reanimate closer to into combat,
Into it, yeah,
basically.
unless you're already in there.
Yeah. But, all right, well, let's move on then. So these guys die. That guy, he can't lose his morale check, so continue.
Perfect. I will do...
Now we're over here. We have like this giant building in the middle of the board. But it is open. It does have like a big old garage door there. Okay,
We'll do
I'm ready.
this guy next.
Fortunately, you can't use that stratagem again,
I
right?
cannot. But I still get my...
What's it
D3.
called again?
Oh, Annihilating Advance.
Yeah, that's pretty bad, actually.
So here
And that hosed these well, no, it just does D3 mortals.
It was just one. It was
But that rock grinder ended up doing
Oh, yeah.
9 wounds. Well, if you counted the mortals
Yeah.
that you did at the beginning,
So I did 5 D3
it did
to
8
him.
wounds.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
that's amazing. Yeah, these are pretty cool.
So extra attacks for that guy because he charged. Gets 1 more.
This is way different than playing Landon. Sorry, Landon.
So forced to hit with him.
You know, the other way to solve this is to not play Chris anymore.
It's you know,
I'm joking.
It's true.
No,
It's
I
true.
want to play good players.
And 2s. All right, so you have 4 at -2.
Okay, they have a couple things on them. They had the Canoptic Reanimator.
Yeah, so these ones have the reanimator and the reroll ones to hit, and they have the 5 up in bowl.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So how many? 4?
It's 4 -2, so 4 6 ups.
Yep. Ooh, 1. Cool. So 3 guys die.
and then
We'll
you
just
got
put some
some
dice. I'll take them from the back.
All right, cool.
Oh, that's it. That's all his thing?
Yep, that's all for
Okay.
him.
I need 4 ups. Oh, so 2 guys actually die. All right. Hold on. Okay, I want to talk about reanimation here. So 2 guys died, and, well, 3 guys died, so I would have had to have taken them off as casualties, right? But 1 guy came back. So you can't come back in engagement range of something that you weren't in engagement range of all.
Yeah.
The question is, do I want to move this guy like closer to something? So hold on, let's just take a look where that objective marker is. Yep. So I want to start getting guys on that objective. So I'm gonna, and these have nothing in them,
Nope,
right?
nothing in 'em.
My question is, if you had 10 guys in here, this one, would they count as 10 guys in range of the objective?
No, because they're not on the board until they get out.
Oh, I see. They're just like, they're almost like in
Yeah,
reserves.
they're super nebulous until they get out of there.
Okay, so this is an example of tactical reanimation, where you move a guy, so now I have 1 more guy in range of that objective. Okay, continue. Yay, I did something smart.
The other one, D3, he gets an extra 3.
Extra 3 what, attacks?
Yep.
Oh, I see, and that's an ability
Yeah,
they
that's an
have.
ability that all the rock
The rock grinders. And by the way, these models are incredible. Look at that, like mining grinders on the, oh, he's even got blood on them. Oh, that's a little presumptuous. Okay, so you're making your
We just
attacks
came
now.
from a civilian center.
Nice.
That one's cocked.
They were distributing Christmas presents.
Oh, 3 hits that time.
Mommy, why does Santa Claus have 4 arms?
All the better to hug you with, my dear. 2s. 3
good.
at -2.
3 at -2. Okay, sucky. Okay, so, but they do have the 5 up invuln, but that doesn't
That
matter.
was them. These ones don't.
Oh, they don't.
These ones are just 6 up.
They have the reanimator. Okay, so they need 4 up becomes 6 up. I made 1. So 2 guys die.
And then reanimation time.
So he finished all his attacks
he
then.
finished all his
Okay,
attacks.
so 4 up because of the nano scarabs, the reanimation beam. Okay, and 1 guy came back.
Now remember,
So-
warriors reroll 1s.
Oh, they do. Thank you.
Reanimation, yeah.
See, now that's an interesting thing we were talking about last time is when you're at a competitive event, you technically don't have to tell the other person they missed something. But I think that it's shady. It's dirty pool not to remind them. Yeah, if you know it, but there's no way to know that And it's a tough call. Like, you would be in a serious moral dilemma if it were like a game-winning thing, and you had to remind them that they were about to botch it. But it's that old thing where, you know that story of the marathon where the guy thinks he's, the guy that's winning it actually, he thinks that he's across the finish line, and so he stops.
No.
And the guy behind him could just blow past him and because he's like, it's a marathon, he's like out of it, right? But the guy behind him actually like helps him along. And I think that's a cool moment. I think in a 40K tournament, that would be that cool moment for you, would be to remind them that they had something. I don't know. Hey, he makes it. Ah, they both come back. So here we go. I'm going to start to like create like this little line here. I'm not in base contact, by the way. I'm keeping 1/8 of an inch away. And the reason for that is with my pile in, it might matter. I might want to like circle this guy with that. So there you go. And with 2-inch, whatever it is, what's that called? Coherency? That's what it is. Mm-hmm. You can actually make this line really quite
Not
long.
with him, because remember, he has to be within range of 2 guys, because you have over 10 models.
Oh, I do?
Well, over 5 models, sorry. Over 5 models, you have to be in range of 2 guys.
Well, then I'll just keep doing what I was doing. All right, well, that's nice to know. Thank you, Chris. I'm learning a lot from this. Not even like a thunder hammer, is it?
It kind of is.
All right, don't take this away from me, Chris.
Okay, I'm sorry.
All right, so here's the deal. I had 2 tomb blades here, so I just want to talk about how charges and stuff work, because I'm learning too. So my tomb blades were like right here, and my Scorpec was behind them, so he's kind of blocked by them. So I charged them in first. I got a very short charge, but I managed to get around the edge. So for you new players like me, don't make contact with the enemy model. Keep them about 1/8 or 1/4 inch away. Now this guy, and that's so when you consolidate or whatever, you can kind of swing around him. This guy's probably going to be dead, but you never know. But I shot up this unit. And then this Scorpec, he rolled a 9, so instead of just moving up straight like this, I moved around and I made it almost 1 inch. And that's so when I can consolidate into this sentinel and lock him down. Which is, well, of course you could just fall back because his shooting is meaningless, almost. As you say, I think Chris is just trying to trick me. He's like, because that would be the game-winning thing. All right, and then other charges. Oh yeah, I wanted to charge that guy too.
Oh, go for it.
Here we go. And they definitely make it. So I'm just going to move them so they're like right on top of this objective. But the thing I have to consider with that is like, well, where are the guys? Oh, underground means you come. I keep thinking there's guys in those trucks, and there's not.
Not in there.
That's a big old mind screwery, right? To leave those transports empty and put your guys into reserves. The last RTT you went to recently, what army did you play?
Oh, these ones.
Really? Okay, good. All right, that is all. All right, it's now top of the second, Genestealer Cults second turn. I have all this nonsense popping in from underground through the sewer grates and stuff. Uh-oh. You know it's bad when your opponent is over on your side of the table. Oh, I don't like this. I'm like super nervous now. That's fantastic. But the Tomb Blades did do their thing, which is they got onto those objectives with Conquerors, their OBSEC, and objectives secured, so they take priority for getting things. But they may just blow up. But the thing is, your opponent has to deal with them. Because right now I'm on, other than this one, I'm on every objective. Uh-oh, I see a lot of guys showing up. This is my banner, by the way. This giant thing. It pops up out of the gun. Yeah, I really did need that second unit of crypto thralls. Something cheap to just be there. Is this where they're coming up, like backfield?
Oh, they're coming up back there. So
I was surprised. I'm surprised. Oh, that's how this game goes. So there's really two games. There's the game where I move up and your tank guys, your rock grinders, sort of hold the line. And then all your nonsense, you're basically deploying your army now for the first time.
Pretty much.
That's awesome. Oh boy, here it comes. Yeah, well, and that's a problem on my part, is I should know what all this stuff does. Like right now, I don't know what's going to happen. I have no idea what his guys do. I have no idea how this is going to play out. Whereas if I were experienced, I would know this. But of course, I'm about to find out. A year from now, I'll be like, remember that time when you got erased from existence by Chris and the rock grinders literally grinded you to metal? Although I've only lost 3 warriors over 3 rounds of combat. So they are good at holding objectives. But it is a 5-turn game, and there is a distinct beginning, middle, and end game, for sure. In the end game, there's, you know, a lot of stuff everywhere. Different things. Here they come. Look at that. They just came out right on that objective because I didn't have anything on it. Oh, and they took my, did you take my banner down, Chris?
Yeah.
Dang it. What? I've had it. I don't like this at all. Oh, are you setting up your first unit?
So that's the first unit right there.
That's the first unit?
Yep.
Oh, okay, now you're setting up your second unit?
Yeah, I'm thinking.
Do you have another unit after this to set up?
Yep, I do.
Okay, etheric interception.
Okay.
Ha ha!
Okay, so
There's your hex marks.
so that's
They
on
prevent
them.
this nonsense from happening. I'm sorry. Did your eye just twitch when I did that?
No,
I think it did.
No, I didn't.
No, I did. I
Where-
saw a twitch.
where you put
Did
them?
you see him twitch? You can't see it from that angle. All right.
It doesn't.
No. These guys, I'm
No,
too late for
this
these
is the
guys.
first unit. No, they're
right,
not,
but
they're
I
not
didn't
down.
say it. You
These are
already
just-
said
these are
your other
measured.
things.
They can't go down until they're down. That was the first unit.
Okay, then
So
I
is
want to
that
do
your
it
unit?
after that first unit.
Okay, so you don't want to do it yet.
No,
You
I
do
do
want
want to
to-
do it
okay,
right
go
now.
ahead.
Yeah, I was too busy talking.
Okay, good.
So there you go. All right. This is why hex marks. Amazing. Oh yeah, well, you know what's going to happen.
Do what?
Yeah. Well, I got to measure it, so I got to turn the camera off to make sure I'm 9 out of your thing. All right, so the hex mark popped out here, but he does create this bubble of things not being able to come in. So that's interesting. And technically, I did remember it and didn't do it correct. The other unit wasn't set up yet. So there you go. But I do need to pay better attention. And I do think Chris's eye twitched. Okay, here it comes.
Hang on, I actually better.
So, as a super expert player, Chris already knows how these combats are going to turn out. Like, you think this is like a lot of chance in this game. It's less than you think. This is more like chess. It's what?
It's a lot of chance. This army.
Okay,
is a
nobody
lot of
listen to Chris. He doesn't know what he's talking about. So, now I'm glad in these recent editions that they got rid of the deep strike randomization thing. That was really not, it was not a fun thing. Like, it didn't make it better. And then they made deep strike like less, like I think it was a D6, if I remember correctly. So yeah. Let's make sure the wound is on the correct guy. So when you charge, are you going to charge into all these things and make like a big string in the middle?
Probably.
Yeah, and that's a thing too. Don't think they'd all have to go one way. With 2-inch coherency, right? But you have to be next to 2 guys, is that it? Oh, but the left guy and the right guy can be your 2 guys.
That is correct. And let's see, we are gonna, I'm gonna declare reroll 1s to wound against.
All right, is that everybody?
Let's see, they
So
are,
a big old blob and characters here.
Yep.
These guys, which the Hexmark killed like 3 guys, 4 guys, 2 guys? Couple guys.
6
It
guys.
matters because they'll
6
need
guys.
morale. I killed 6 guys
It
there.
doesn't matter right now because they're gonna do scramblers over there in your deployment zone.
Oh, you got deploy scramblers.
So we already did it over here, we're gonna do it over there now, and then.
And then another big old block here. Why are these guys here? I don't understand.
Because you can't really do anything to them, and they're gonna charge these guys,
Oh, they're going to charge the crypto thralls.
and then.
And this guy? Okay, because you get like this bonus move or something, right?
I already did it over here.
Oh, you did? Oh, that's why they're like close.
Yep.
So it's D6,
Yep.
right? Okay,
So,
cool. It's a stratagem. And by the way, I have like a zillion command points that I should be just spending like hotcakes now for every. But I don't see any things that are really helpful. Yeah, that didn't help me. Protocol of Vengeful Stars. All right, well, whatever.
Okay, we are going to do some.
Yeah, I got to tell you, I'm missing so many things.
Okay, we're going to psychic a little bit.
All right. This is a fun game. I'm interested to see what will happen. Because we're on turn 2 now, right? Yeah, we're not hardly into this game yet. Okay, so this unit of Acolytes has a lot of rock cutters. And he rolled like a 9 for his charge. So here's the guys stringing out between them.
So there, and then we just need to
String them out. And those are rock grinders. So I'm going to get grinded and
those
cut.
are rock, yep, those are rock drills. These are rock cutters.
This is bad. I don't think my tomb blades are going to be here for very much longer. Oh, and I'm going to lose those objectives. Unless you whiff, which is not likely to happen. Ooh, all right. I think I was just countered. Hard countered. It did feel good to get those tomb blades right on those objectives, though. That was pretty awesome.
And then you guys.
The hex marks, I got to tell you, I'm liking them. This is what I've lost so far of this game. I actually haven't really killed anything. Not much, at least. Just some regular grunt guys that are cheap. Aren't the Acolytes like 8 points or something like that? 8
points a guy, yeah.
That's awesome. I love how they made a lot of units like super cheap, too. Comparative. Like 8 points is cheap now. You really don't find things that are 5 points anymore, which is interesting. And they made the board like super small. Like this is 60 inches. It's a 5-foot board. Oh wait, it's down to here. It's a 5-foot board now, and with 4 inches taken off of that edge.
These guys, I'm going to charge both of them.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, I need a 9.
Oh, that's cool. You don't have to ask every time.
All right, didn't make it.
All right.
They'll get in there next turn.
You could try these guys on them.
They scrambled, so they're not going to do anything.
Oh, that's right. They did like an action. So in these smaller units, they just, how much are the rock?
It's like 10 points for a saw.
Yeah, it's like, it's kind of a little bit like a power fist, really. All right,
Cool.
Very interesting game.
I will now tacky you.
Okay, sounds good. Come on, Tomb Blades. They do have a 3-up, 5-up on these guys. For these things in front are the,
Let's see, we're just
what are they called? They're shield veins.
So we're just going to kind of pile this way.
Uh-oh. Now, when they charge, they couldn't be within... Oh, because of that guy.
Yep.
Oh, you're just piling it. But you can't attack them, right?
Nope.
You're just kind of glorking them into combat. I'm going to turn my guy around.
All right.
He was interested in the Sentinel. Now he's like, ooh, these guys. Oh. That's how my Scorpex sound. They sound a little like this.
Okay, cool.
All right, let's do it.
Yeah, that there, and then that there.
Hey, remember that time when I had a Scorpex dude over here? Oh, he's gone. My Scorpex did literally nothing. And that is because of bad play and bad placement and bad defending. The Chronomancer should have been buffing them and making them more survivable. But instead, I was just dumb, Chris.
I don't know about that, but...
Oh, you're very nice. Okay, what, did they just get obliterated for no reason? Well, they have an invuln.
11 invulnerable saves for them.
Oh boy, here we go.
So 11 5-ups.
4, 6, 8, 10, 11. Well, I don't know why I'm rolling these. Because each one guy dies, right? Yeah, they're dead.
There you go.
With at least 6 fails. Oh, my Tomb Blades. I'm going to say they don't die. They just flee. Where are you going? The Lord's like, my will be done. Ah, to heck with you. Hold on. They didn't die, Chris. They just went back to their home base.
They just ran away.
So which objective are those guys claiming?
Both.
I thought you couldn't claim 2 objectives.
I can't claim the same objective with the same model.
What? That's not right. I'm going to furiously look through the rule book now. Oh, and you like blob into that guy too.
So you just stay
Oh, I don't like this one single bit. Oh, I got annihilated by that one unit.
Actually, you stay right there.
Well, that unit was probably 200 and some odd points. And they're like lightly armed. They're just 3s. So the counterattack could be brutal. The problem is...
If you had a counterattack.
I don't have a counterattack.
All right, I don't have any other chargers, so you get a non-charger.
Oh, okay. Cool, man. Well, I'll go ahead and fight with these two. Well, no, they already fought. So I'll fight with the hex mark. Is that right? Is that what I want to do? Yeah, that's really... Because this isn't going to die. That's not going to die. I'm not going to do anything. I may as well just start chipping away at these guys. Okay, the hex mark isn't great in close combat.
The other guy canceled already.
Oh, did he? Okay, great. Okay, so anyway, I had a very interesting proposition here. I can't have these rock saws, because if I just let them be, then I'm giving Chris the initiative to sort of run out and start sawing things up. So I decided to throw at them everything I could. So I bought the Canoptic Reanimator out. He's still within range for the Nano Scarab beam. The Chronomancer here. I was trying to make it so these guys charged in and they were within 6 of him, but it was off by like 2 or 3 inches, so I would have been better running this guy up and just taking a -1 with his assault ranged weapon, which only killed 1 guy anyway. So the Crypto Thralls get better attacks if they're close to the Chronomancer. So I didn't do a very good job coordinating this. This needed a 12 charge and I rolled an 11, so it was pretty interesting there. So now it's up to the Crypto Thralls to thin this. I'm into the rock drills pretty quick. So since they charged, they'll go first. Here it goes. 3 attacks each, looking for 4s. Here it comes. Oh boy, that's so bad. I'm going to go ahead and command reroll, because this matters. And get a 4, convert 1. That could matter. Strength is 5, so I'm looking for 3s. I only get 1 wounding hit at no modifier. Nope, at -1.
-1, 6 up. Nope, 1 guy down.
Why don't you take the banner guy?
Because he gives me reroll 1s.
Okay, he makes the other guys more efficient. Well, that's a tough call. That's it. Now I think you select one.
Yep.
So that was my only... Oh, I should have charged the hex mark. Uh-oh. I think that was a giant mistake.
So I'm going to go here.
That was a huge mistake, actually. Oh, you disengaged with me. Oh, you dirty dog. I didn't see you do it. Look at that. Look at that smile. Oh, he's so happy that he did it, too. He's like, now I'm going to blow that guy up.
2 invols here.
Okay, here you go. They have invuln from the Chronomancer. What's the other thing they have? Oh, the beam from the thing.
Nope.
Nothing. Okay.
That's all of his attacks. So,
I don't know if I took a command point for that reroll. Okay.
so
Oh, reanimation on 4s. 1 guy dies, actually. And then 1 guy reanimates and can be like somewhere else. Well, where's the objective? It's over here, isn't it?
Yep.
All right, well, I'm doing good on that, so I'll just start circling around for no apparent reason. Nope, that's bad. I want to be farther away from charge range from these guys, if possible. Thank you. Why didn't you move your characters up to sort of take... Oh, because you just now arrived.
Yeah.
You never had a move.
yeah,
All right, go ahead.
we've been taking a minute. You got your attacks from somebody.
Oh, it's my turn.
Yeah,
Okay,
your
cool.
attacks.
Yeah. The humiliating end phase. Yeah, basically this giant unit of acolytes just swept in and annihilated everything, as foretold by the prophets. My warriors just got ground down. This is turn 3, by the way, and I have loads of insights from this game. My hex mark's still hanging out, grabbing this objective, but Chris is sitting on all the other 5 objectives. And, well, no, actually that's not true. Well, you do have this one for thing. Actually, I'm just sort of curious. I did concede already. Where's the objective
It's over
marker?
there. He's on it.
Oh, yeah, you have so many guys. And I think I only have maybe 1 guy. Anyway, so I couldn't double you, basically, with the Conquerors thing.
No.
Okay, cool. Yeah, thanks. You guys missed the shake. We did shake hands. All right, here we go. Come on in, Chris. Let me flip this around so we can see what we're seeing. There he is. All right, so I'm great, a giant head. All right, so here's Chris. By the way, thank you very much. Really great to have you down. And so you played a low-tier army expertly, and I got hammered. So tell us about your army, and maybe if you learned anything from the game, MVP, whatever.
Oh, yeah, for sure. So this is my Genestealer Cult army. And I was trying out something new. I took the Abominant HQ. Usually I don't take him. He doesn't really do much, but until new Codex comes out and they make it where he can't get a 3-up invulnerable save, giving him the Bladed Cog relic that gets boosted by Bladed Cog itself to a 3-up invulnerable is just, it's kind of a fun way to run him. You do that so he's hard to kill. You give him an additional
When he regenerates, too.
yeah, well, so he regenerates on his own, D3 wounds a turn, and then he also gets a -1 to any damage that you do to him, and there's a Warlord trait that I give him that gives an additional -1. So, you know, any Thunder Hammers or anything that get through just go down to damage 1. But yeah, so, like I said, I run them as Bladed Cog, gives everybody a 6-up invulnerable save, and then it lets me have the 5-up Feel No Pain Psychic Power, which is really nice to keep a unit of Acolytes alive.
Wait, he's a Psyker, too?
No, not him. The actual Psyker.
Okay.
But yeah, so I mean, the MVP in any Genestealer Cult list is going to be the Acolytes, because they're kind of the only thing that does anything for you in the game.
Oh, they did a lot.
Yeah, I mean, that's the only
Those
unit
rock
really.
saws were so many dice, so much damage.
Yeah, well,
It was crazy, and you
in
shoot them, it's like,
particular-
oh, all these regular guys die.
Yeah, well, that was yeah.
That's how the game works.
Yeah, that's it. It's this particular game, I say the MVPs were the rock grinder trucks, because they just held up all of this stuff forever.
Oh, yeah, they just slowly, well, after 4 combat rounds, they had killed, like, on the net, like 4 warriors, regular warriors. But the warriors would have never got them down to 0.
No.
Not in 5 turns, just because of the math, those probability spikes. All right, cool. How many games do you think total you've played with this army?
Well, this is the first one with it in this incarnation, but I mean, with Genestealer Cults, I mean, it's had to have been hundreds of games. I mean,
Oh, jeez.
because it's been.
I'm in way over my head.
It's been since really, I mean, since before the Codex came out, because they had that little supplement that came in the board game that was Genestealer Cult versus Deathwatch, and they had 40k rules for them in there, so I started playing them then. And they didn't even have a Codex.
Oh, wow.
It was just like, here, you can use these guys. Like,
Well, I remember when the first of their 2 codexes came out. And what a big deal. I don't know, for you old beardy types. Like, it's a long time. Genestealer Cult was kind of just this background noise,
well,
you know.
when I first started playing at the very beginning of 4th edition, there was a Genestealer Cult Codex or supplement or something that was out at the time, and I loved it, but I never got a chance to play it, to buy it and play it, because I was playing other armies, and I always wanted to, and then it went away, and then I was always like, yeah, if they bring it back, I'm going to do it. So, yeah, as soon as that little box set came out, jumped on it, and here we are. I have like a ton of dudes.
Awesome. Well, that's really cool. And your army's all painted up, so that's nice. And yeah, well, I've got definitely comments about Necrons now. But it was a great game. Could I have done things differently to have done better in this game? Well, the answer is yes. I didn't really even know what was going to happen. I thought you had a bunch of guys in your transports. So that's my big lesson in this game is pay attention. When it's your opponent's turn, don't just start looking at your phone. Because guess what? They're making charges. They're rolling morale things. You got to pay attention to that and like see what's going on. And I didn't know 30 guys with 4 rock drills and 4 cutters were going to pop out somewhere on the board, because I would have spread my guys out a little bit better. I think that would have been the big thing. Like if I had paid more attention, I could have pushed that bubble out, because the board's so small now.
No.
I could have pushed that bubble out and prevented your guys from coming in anywhere consequential. You can theoretically prevent them from coming in at all.
Right, in theory.
Right. Yeah, it's really hard to push someone all the way off the board. But I could have controlled it a lot better and been ready for those counter charges, like the crypto thralls. If they had each had 6 attacks each, that may have been and the reanimator had gotten in there, it would have been a much different story. But even knowing that they were there, in my movement phase, I didn't move my guys well enough. I didn't think it through. Oh, maybe I should have advanced that guy. Oh, if I advanced, I couldn't have charged. Oh, but he just needed the aura. And I could have done reanimator beam on the emergency reanimator beam on the crypto thralls. Well, anyway, there's a lot of little things that make you lose a game or win a game.
So something interesting for the emergency reanimator beam, I have to shoot at you for you to use it.
Oh, you do?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
So if I overwatched you, you could do it, but
Yeah, you wouldn't have done that with pistols or
and
whatever.
I don't think you can put it on crypto thralls because they're not core.
Oh, that's right. Okay, well, see what I'm talking about? You got to know your game. So that's what it's the old art of war thing. If you know your enemy and know yourself, you'll never be defeated. Something like that.
Unless the
There's a
dice are
whole
like,
thing to
no.
Yeah, well, you know what I believe, guys. The dice don't have as much to do with it as you think because of the probability spikes. All right, well, thank you very much, Chris.
Oh,
Awesome.
thanks for having me.
All right. Okay, so Chris is gone. Now I can tell you what I really think about him. I think Chris is awesome. He's done some assembly for me, and he's always attentive, on time, and playing a game. He's a real pro, and I'm having a good time. So thanks a lot for that. And I really, it's bad form to talk about somebody badly when they're not around. But in this case, I have nothing but good things to say about Chris, and it was a lot of fun to play him. And what else? I want to talk about what I'm calling tier compression. And that means when you cry, you shove it back inside. Get all that salty tears back in there. And ball it up in a ball of hatred and black rage until the right moment, which is when your car breaks down by the side of the road and you dance like the devil in counterclockwise circles. Yeah, ask your mom about that. So anyway, I'm here with my wonderful son, Jonah. Yeah, Jonah's just over there painting. We got an Eldar army to finish in about a week. And you've been seeing that by bits and pieces. And that's really good. I'm painting up a Wraith Knight for it and an Autarch on jet bike. And Jonah is doing Warlocks on jet bike. And then most of the rest of it, like infantry and stuff, is done. There's 20 Wraith Guard in this army too. And those are over halfway done too. So we're getting it done, guys. Getting the job done. So anyway, yeah, if you want a project done, check the liner notes for the email for that. It gives the project's email. You can use the main email, which is bluetablepainting@gmail.com. And we have a great trade-in program too, so you can take the edge off of that. I have another great program called Just Get It Done. Very few people want to do it. It's super inexpensive. It's like the most economical. Anyone can do this. If you can get an army at all, you can have us paint it. And we're right in the middle of the U.S. shipping lanes in Utah. Like if you look at flight paths in the U.S., it's like a whole bunch of them converge on Salt Lake. So there you go. There's my pitch. Oh, there's a call. I didn't turn my phone off. Nope, not as important as this video. It was not a client, by the way, just so you know. So anyway, okay, so tier compression is where as they balance the game, people won't stop making news about analyzing units and what's good and not, but the difference between them will get like less and less. And you see that if you're reading like analysis of the whatever codex, you'll see them say this unit isn't as terrible as it used to be. or, you know, and you see more things sort of joining in this area of an army list where it's like these are good unit or that will work together. And part of that is also something I love about 9th edition is you pick your own objectives. You come to the table and, okay, what's my army good at? My army is good at killing enemy characters. Great, take that as your objective. They got four characters, a couple of weaker ones. Pick those guys off. By the way, that's what happened to me this game. I got ran over. Like by turn 3, he had already sort of turned the tides, and I would have had nothing on the board by turn 4. It was crazy. But if you have a really, because I had a really strong start for the first 2 turns, I maxed out on my central thing. So I think what I want to do is start playing my games out to the bitter end and not sort of like, what I do is I sort of lose interest if it seems like I'm on the downside. But guess what? If you hold on for grim death and grab some objectives and make them fight for every single square inch of it, then you can possibly come out ahead, come out with 50 points to their 46 points, like that. So I'm excited. I'm excited to play more games. Chris saying that he played 100 games with that army, which seems like an incredible feat. But it made me realize, well, I've really only played 3 games with this army, and that even then only at like lower point levels. So playing against Chris was really, really awesome. I think it gave me a sense of like running it more professionally, because I do pretty good, but man, I had to scurry to my references just to like, because I didn't know it all offhand. Not even like the 7 different types of units that I brought. I was like, what's their toughness? What's their save? What do they need to hit? You got to have that all memorized, and you have to have all of the books memorized to know what your opponent is doing. I think that's a big part of the game, is knowing what your opponent's capabilities are. Because literally a third of the time, Chris was like, oh, I'm doing this psychic power, it gives them whatever. And I was just like, okay, I guess, I don't know. I don't know what it does. And it's, so I couldn't plan for that. I couldn't react to it. I didn't know what I was up against. I just knew his squads had some special weapons in them that probably did more damage. I didn't know how much damage. So all of those things are part of mastering it. And I'm starting to think that chess players got it easy, actually. Like you don't have to go far to know what your units do. So anyway, it was brutal. And my MVP was the Hexmark Destroyer. I was very impressed with what that unit could do. It doesn't have a lot of staying power, but man, that thing can pop up and just be a complete nuisance. And that's what it does, is it goes after these it's a late game piece, really. And you can't deal with everything else and that. I'm starting to think maybe Ghost Arcs might be a good thing to have. Tomb Blades were not, Tomb Blades were awesome. I loved them. On a smaller board, they do tend to they're in engagement range a lot, and they're not great objective sitters. So, I don't know, and it's like so expensive to get them up with those defenses. That invuln save and the +1 to armor still doesn't make them very good at hanging out on objectives. It just, because you have to hold them for a turn. So, Tomb Blades, but they're certainly very speedy and shooty, and I did like them though. I did like them. I might. It's just tough, because if you take one thing, that means you can't take another. And so I like the hex marks. They were great, but you can have 2 Scorpex, the melee guys, for one of those. But the hex marks they had so much flexibility. They move really fast. And when you try and charge them, they get 2+ on their Overwatch. And they re-roll those. So their shooting is just like, you're just going to peel off on average. So Space Marine wounds with a 3-up, 4-up, you're going to peel off 2 with 1 volley with that gun. Maybe a little more. All right, I've only got a little bit left on the battery, so let's move on.